Hi, I'm Rob.
And I'm Angie.
And together we are Twinfinity.
We are twin flames in union who've been sharing our journey to union through a series of videos. This is now video number 41 called Your Honor. It's kind of a scary story, but
yeah,
we'll get into that.
This one's going to be hard on us. A few have been. This one's going to rank up there with the best.
Yeah.
But first of all, where are we? We are back at the Elephant Rocks. We were here in the winter, video number 24, and it was all nice and beautiful out here. Now we are back, and of course there's no snow. This is the end of summer. It's all had a chance to melt.
Yeah.
It's actually been melted for probably
long time.
Probably 2.5 months now. But yeah, it's really nice to be back here again. So anyway, this is where we are.
And I just wanted to add, it's completely amazing how the timing has worked out. We have tried to come here. This is the 4th time this summer. 2 times there was bears, so they had the whole area closed off. And the 3rd time it was raining, and we were like, oh, should we go and risk? And hopefully it gets sunny, and we just decided not to.
No, rain is not the best.
No. So what's absolutely amazing is 2 synchronistic things. This is very appropriate to be here because in our story right now, we're talking about rocky times. So it's really good to have rocks behind us. And what's also really cool, if you watched our video on YouTube last week, or if you watched it on Facebook before I took it down and put a different one up, you would have seen we referenced video number 24, and we even had a little clip of the video in that video. Now, the reason I had to take it down on Facebook, oddly enough, I don't know why, but the way it uploads on Facebook, it garbles things up if you add like another video in between. So the voice and the video was all off, and it just, by the end, it was like terrible. I'd be talking, but you'd see his lips moving, and it was just like weird. So I had to fix it. So anyway, if you didn't see the one with the actual little clip of the video from 24 in there, check it out. It was kind of cool.
Okay.
So I think
we're ready to go to recap.
I think so.
Okay, recap from last video. Angie and I shared some of the fun and joy we experienced in union after making it through a lot of challenges. Angie started a new job with an awesome boss and great hours.
Yes, and I just wanted to comment on that. I am so blessed. I mean, we were not at all planning on doing videos or mission or anything like that when we first got into union and when I got this job. But honestly, it's been such a blessing because I couldn't do everything that I do unless I had this job. The hours are great. My boss, I mean, I do so much work, so much twin flame work at work, and my boss helps me. So again, just amazing synchronicity on how it all flowed, the timing and everything. Ah, blessings.
We went on our first holiday together. It was a cruise.
Which is where video number 24 came in from last video, because I was talking about wanting to go on a cruise.
We did that in February of 2016,
yes.
And it had been a dream of Angie's since we were together back in 1997.
Yes.
We got engaged. I was having what we called triple M moments. We called them marry me moments, where I really wanted to propose to Angie. I had to wait though because we were getting a custom ring made for her, and it was based upon a vision of what she had written down in her journal. She had a vision. She wrote it down in her journals, diagrammed it out.
Yeah, I drew it all out.
And then we took that and transcribed that, and we're trying to have that built into reality.
Except by that point, when we were making the ring, I couldn't find it in my journal because I was looking at the time period when we were together. I actually found out later, after the ring was made, that I had drawn it when we were broken up already. More weird things happening. You know how this journey is.
And I was also trying to propose on a significant date and place, so that it took a little bit of time to get this all coordinated. But finally, I got to satisfy my marry me moments and proposed to Angie on May 14th, 2016.
Yay!
At the base of Castle Mountain, which was the first mountain we climbed together after only a week after meeting in 1997.
Yep. Long time ago. So, that's the moral of that story, is never give up on your dreams, because you just never know when they'll come true. Ours was a long time before it came true, but it It did. And we still, quite frankly, have surreal moments of, oh my God, we're married. We just had that this morning.
You had that this morning.
It's like, going, we're married. Wow.
I'm here and you're here. Wow. How'd this all happen? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. If we forget, we have videos.
No, before we start, do you want to adjust your head's kind of cut off? Do you care? Do you want to like...
Yeah, might as well swing it over just a little bit. Oh. And...
You're going to sink down a little?
I'm going to sink down.
I think you did that in video number 24 too. You were like sunk down in the snow.
Yes, I was.
We don't have snow now.
Yeah, so we can't adjust by throwing snow around and lift ourselves up or down or anything like that. We actually have to use the ground.
Yeah.
Okay,
so this video, we usually, in our previous video, kind of tell you at the end what's, coming up in the next one. We didn't do that last time because we just wanted to keep the happy moment of getting engaged a happy moment. We didn't want to ruin it with some other tragic stuff. But this is just to tell you that challenges still come up in union. If you have not dealt with your stuff, you got to deal with it at some point. And this is where my lesson came in.
Okay.
But
let's get
first
let's get started so that we can get finished.
Yes. First we have some happy moments still to share.
Yay.
So we got engaged on May 14th of 2016, and this is now just a couple days later on May 18th.
4 days later.
Yes. And I said to Rob, I love my life. Thank you for who you are, what we are here to do, and all of our years apart. Our challenges when we were together before. I wouldn't change any of it, because it's brought us to now, and it's more wonderful than I ever could have hoped for. Oh my God, life is so good. Thank you for being a part of it. So I was just feeling like super happy.
Nice.
Oh, look, we have a beautiful bird.
We have a gray jay.
Is that what that is?
No, two of them actually.
Wow.
You see, they're probably just scoping. They're scoping for. Yeah, there's probably just scoping for some food or something like that. There's a bird. Oh, hang on. Bird.
There.
Bird.
Oh, they're beautiful. Okay, sorry to interrupt, but when you're out in nature, you got to show you guys nature. It's kind of cool when
here comes another one.
Oh, wow. It's like bird day all of a sudden. Yeah. They weren't even around. All of a sudden we start our video and we got birds everywhere.
Happy bird day. Sorry. Barely.
Rob and his bad puns.
I responded back, thank you too. I'm happy to be where I am at too.
Oh, nice.
Flip Angie.
And I said, oh my God, do you realize we are getting married? And I put M.A.R.R.
That must have taken a minute.
It did. And I said, wow, you, me, and us. Amazing. Surreal, really. 20 years later.
And we weren't even called Twinfinity yet.
No, we weren't.
You, me, us. Oh.
I never even thought of that. That's funny. That comes in next video, actually. I think that's next video. Maybe the video after. 20 years later, I couldn't be happier. Yay for us.
Yay for being excited. Still at work. Might get away in time to get to Starbucks, but I doubt it. Say hi, please. You were meeting... Marie.
Yes, my friend that was supported me on this journey right from the very beginning of discovering about Twin Flame. So yes, I was going to meet her to tell her all about getting engaged and show her my ring and... what girls do, right? So then I said, another day, I said, good morning, my future husband. I'm having a high love my ring day. Can't stop looking at it in amazement today. So I was just, super excited.
Just gushing.
Yeah. And now this is May 30th of 2016. And I said, I was working just a bit ago and saw my ring while typing. Had the funniest reaction. I looked totally surprised as it was there, on my finger. Shiny, ring, still awesome. So I'm just like, wow. And I said it always will be, not just because of its prettiness, but mostly because of what it symbolizes and represents. You and me, together. Finally! Yay! Had a happy, shocked realization of that fact again today. Lots of love.
I remember directly. I remember very, very clearly reading that text because I felt very, very much the same.
And then this is another awe moment. Hello, my love. Just wanted to tell you how very grateful I am for you. I was looking at my old journals, trying to find the picture of my wedding ring that I drew. No luck. But what I did find was so much about us. And when I read and remember, I feel so in shock, but so grateful to have you back in my life. As my fiancé, no less. So very happy. Thank you for then, and for now, and for being my amazing TF. So, all that stuff you go through, all those challenges, they are for a reason, and even when you don't see it at the time, there's blessings in them.
And of course, me being real busy at work, I only had a very unemotional answer of, "Hi, love you." Very nice message.
At least you acknowledged it was a nice message. You acknowledged.
Too busy.
Well, that's just the nature of your job.
Another text pack done. Oh, not quite.
Not quite. There's a little bit to read in it.
Back page.
Yeah. So I was, of course, still texting at 11:11 and 1:11. I text him one day at 1:11, and I said, I just read a thing about 11:11 and 1:11. It's a mirroring sequence that represents a gateway. The two twins unifying and bringing about a portal of source energy. The two parts becoming whole. Cool. Love you, my TF.
Love you too. 1 + 1 = 2. Lame, I know. Sorry. LOL. Yay to twin flame explanation.
Oh, the wisdom from Rob.
Oh.
Oh, okay. This is you being all sweet now. This is June of 2016.
I'm missing you this morning. Just want to have 3 days with you. Love you. We had a long weekend coming up.
Yeah.
Yay.
Oh, yeah, sorry. And I said, oh my God, you make me cry. Now see, this is why I'm marrying you. I love you too. And I put two instead of TOO, I put it TWOOO. Just for fun. Just because we're weird. All right, and this is now in September of 2016.
We're ripping through the months now.
Yes, this is just to give you an idea. Things were moving along wonderfully. We were happy, we were in love, we were excited about getting married, we were planning the wedding.
We were having a summer.
And then it goes bad. So I said, I don't tell you this often anymore, but I still love my ring. I still look at it in amazement every single day. Yay for us.
Aww, love you. I hope she still likes it.
I still do. I just got a compliment on it last night from one of our friends, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so now we're celebrating 14th of every month, along with the 11th every month, since, now that we're engaged on the 14th. So, it's you first, actually.
Me first.
I thought it was me first, but it's you first.
Hey, happy 14th day.
That might have been the first time we did that. I don't know. And I said, yay for 14th. We're so funny. LOL. And now it's 11:11. Love you.
Oh, so many numbers to keep track of.
We're just rocking along wonderfully, happily. Everything's good and everything's great.
Oh, anything there? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, November. I'm in the middle of busy season.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm stupid busy. See you possibly stupid late. Love you. Have fun dress shopping.
Yes, so now I'm going wedding dress shopping with my friends. So then I went to Hawaii. My parents have timeshares in Hawaii, and I get more time off from work than Rob does. So I went to Hawaii for 2 weeks, and then he joined me in the second week. So this is a couple texts from when I was there and he was still at home.
I was only going to be there for 1 week.
Yeah. And this is now January of 2017. So just last year, like a year and a half ago.
We're catching up to ourselves.
Yes, we are. That's why we're almost done our videos, because there's not much more to tell. So I said, good morning, my love. I've been awake since 5:30 MT, which meant my time.
My time.
We would go back and forth and say, your time, my time.
5-hour difference.
Yeah. And I said, but I'm just resting for a while. Thank you for all the nice messages. It's really nice to wake up to you, even when we're apart.
Then I had a 11:11 MT, my time.
So we were texting 11:11 and 1:11, your time, my time. So I said, yay, 11:11, love you.
And then I had a 1:11, my time, love you.
And then you had an 11:11,
your time.
So we were having fun keeping track of 11:11s and 1:11s, each other's times.
In different time zones.
Yeah. So that's it for texts. Now we get to go to journal again. Oddly, we haven't had any journal stuff for a while, but we have a journal.
We have a journal again.
Okay. Hang on to your hats, folks. This is where it gets a little bumpy. This is February 22nd of 2017 that I started writing in my journal again.
Yeah, we were both back from Hawaii.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And I said, well, the time has come to finally put some stuff on paper again. It's been a long time. I haven't written because things have been wonderful with Rob, and I get along, wonderful. Rob and I get along wonderfully and have been so happy. I haven't even written to share that we got engaged last spring, which is really neat in a TF way because I was just reading an old journal and finally found the picture of the ring that I drew. In my old journal years ago. I drew it May 8th of 1998, 18 years almost to the day exactly of when we got engaged. Again, another one of those twin flame things that you couldn't try if you... Yeah,
we missed by less than a week.
Yeah.
And had no idea.
Yeah, had no idea because I couldn't find it in my journal. So I said, what's even more incredible is what I drew, is what I have. A triple band, heart-shaped pink stone ring. I knew I had drawn it years ago, but I didn't at all remember the colored pink ring, or the colored pink stone. When we were getting the ring made last year, I hadn't originally thought of having it as a pink stone. I had it as an iridescent stone, but it was a friend of ours that suggested to get the pink stone. So it's funny how it all worked out, like just all the synchronicities that we go through as twin flames. So I said, okay, obviously things have been going good enough for Rob and I to get engaged. Now the struggles, though. Okay, are we ready?
I'm not.
I'm not either.
You might have to bear with us.
Yeah, there might be tears. We'll try to not. So I said it started Sunday, February 12th. This is just last year, 17. We were headed out to the mountains for the day, stopping at Silvertip to do some wedding stuff on the way. Rob got 2 texts just as we were driving into Canmore, right past Cougar Creek, which immediately made me think of his karmic one, because it was there over 18 years ago that Rob and I were when he wanted to tell me that even though he was pursuing me again, because this is when we had already broken up and we were sort of in that weird phase of together, not together. So we were out that day and he decided he should tell me that he was still seeing and spending a lot of time with his karmic one.
As per Karmic Calamity.
Yes.
That was video number 14.
Yes.
Yes.
So interesting synchronicity again. Video 14 is where we talked about the karmic calamity when Rob told me what was going on and I cried and never thought I'd speak to him again.
And that was out near Cougar Creek. And now all of a sudden we're driving through Canmore and I get texts.
Yes. So it's also really funny is this is video 41 that we're talking about this again.
14, 41, 14, 41.
Could we have tried to make that plan? Nope.
Nope.
So cool. So I said, every time we pass that creek, I think of her and the whole painful day back in 1998. I said nothing to Rob, though, about it, but felt the icky memory as we passed. We get to Silvertip and Rob checks his phone and sees it's Karmic One who had texted him.
Yep.
And I said somehow I wasn't surprised. Her text came just minutes before we passed Cougar Creek. What a synchronicity. So okay, we go on with our day and I'm feeling angry because I'm thinking, is this woman ever going to be out of our lives? I mean, she's texting Rob while we're at our wedding venue. Like, really? So I'm not happy, but I'm trying to keep it mum, because, you know, we're out, we're having a good day. It's our wedding stuff that we're planning. So then at home later that night, I couldn't stop thinking of the Cougar Creek day 18 years ago, so I decided to find the journal entry and read it. It took a while to find, but I did, and I read it, and then I cried and cried. Why? Because I hadn't healed it. So guess what? It was coming up. Feeling the pain of that night and the betrayal I felt was brutal. While I was reading, Rob came to my Reiki room to let me know it was bedtime. I was sobbing at the time, but I decided to be brave and vulnerable, so I asked Rob to sit beside me. I told him what was going on and what I was reading and how I felt, why I was so angry about the karmic thing earlier in the day. I was still carrying the hurt from 18 years ago, and it was late May 1998 that Rob had dropped the bomb on me that he was still seeing his karmic while seeing me. Okay, so we both cried. He said he didn't know if he should apologize for the past, the present, or both.
Yeah.
So we went to bed and cried more. Then, that was Monday night, February 13th. So yeah, Rob was sharing in my pain. The next day I woke up at 2 in the morning and couldn't sleep for the rest of the night because I had this horrible feeling like something bad was going to happen. Like my whole world was going to come crashing down on me. It was such a horrible feeling, and I tried to go out on the couch to calm myself and go back to sleep. No luck. The feeling just got worse. I thought about what could be wrong. I'm shaking, sorry. And if it had anything to do with the Karmic One incident. I found a receipt to Moxie's from January 17th, so I looked on the calendar, and January 17th was a Tuesday, the night Rob and I talked on the phone while I was in Hawaii. So I was racking my brains and wondering who he went to Moxie's with, because he hadn't said anything about it. Still, I had this horrible feeling that something bad was going to happen. Even though I went back to bed, and when Rob's alarm went off, I hadn't been asleep for most of the night. So I told Rob I'd been awake and was having this horrible feeling. He said it's nothing in his life that he could think of. Then he was getting up, and I casually asked if he'd had dinner with anybody while I was away. He said no. So I asked if he went out with any other friends. He said he didn't go out with anyone. He just worked late every night. I felt sick, suspecting he'd been out with Karmic One. Who else would it be, since he was lying? Whew, okay. Thursday morning now, I couldn't calm down because I needed to know the truth. So, it just was like churning in me, like, what is going on? I was so stressed, and Rob could feel it. So he asked, and I said I had a question, but I didn't want to ask because I didn't want to potentially blow up our whole day. He said ask, so I did. I said, who did you go to Moxie's with while I was in Hawaii? And he took a deep breath and propped himself up in bed and said, I'm going to tell you the truth. It was Karmic One. Oh boy.
Yes. I had gone out for supper with Karmic One while Ange was in Hawaii on the week before I got there.
Yes. So I wrote, I was immediately in shock. Shocked that he flat out lied to me. We talked. Do you want to say anything?
No.
Okay.
I actually have a bug crawling in the edge of my ear.
Oh, that's nice.
Just not pleasant.
Okay. We talked, and I stayed calm, probably only because I was so in shock. We talked from 5:30 to 7:30, which was 2 hours, which meant Rob was now late for work, and I was going to be late for work. I didn't remember a lot at that point, other than he said she had texted that she wouldn't be allowed to communicate with him once he was married.
What her point was is that she, as in my Karmic One, thought that we would always be in communication, but she would eventually cut off communication if I ever got married. I didn't really want to wait that long. I didn't want to wait till we were married. I was done with her a while ago as far as having her in my life as someone who was significant.
Yes. And what's interesting is she was texting him a lot, and I could feel it. I would often say, that lady's on my mind. And he'd be like, oh, yeah, I'm not surprised. She just texted me. So it was interesting how I could feel her energy, and it was driving me nuts.
Karmic One was still expecting Angie and I to break up, and I would go back to her.
Yes. She had been in your life since...
She had waited for me since last time.
Yeah.
Since when we had first met.
Yeah.
She'd been waiting for me for years and years, and I had never encouraged her to do so. In fact, I encouraged her not to do so.
Yep, and even when you were with your 12-year Karmic,
yep,
she
even when
still
I was with,
hung on.
That's right.
She kept thinking, no, he's going to break up, and he's going to come be with me, and he's going to marry me. And okay, so he was saying that she had texted that she wouldn't be allowed to communicate with him once he was married. And he said it triggered in him that the message, or It triggered in him, no, he wasn't going to carry on with her that long, and decided he was going to see her face to face and let her know it was time to move on now. So, of course, because I still hadn't healed everything that happened from way back in 1998 with him and her and me and that whole triangle, it triggered all of that. And instead of being able to just hear his truth, I was gone back to he's cheating on me and he's having an affair with her and he's lying to me and he's deceiving. So that's the perspective I was coming from.
And here I had no desire to trigger Angie, so I figured I would pick a time where she wouldn't notice me missing for an evening, and I would go have my chat, very nice chat, because I don't like being a mean person, with Karmic One, and explain to her that no, I really am engaged, and it's going just fine, and I will be getting married, and it's time to move on. And I didn't want to do that and let Angie know. I was trying to protect everybody. I was trying to let Karmic One know that she could move on.
Let her down easy.
And I was trying not to have to let Angie know that I'd been in touch with Karmic One for whatever reason. And it was a receipt that was sitting on my night table that for whatever reason happened to jump out, move aside, and say Moxie's during it, which is the name of the restaurant, with the date on it of when Angie was away. Why that all happened, I can't really explain that. That was supposed to be hidden away as a portion of my past successfully accomplished. But no, it had to jump out and blow things up severely.
It's because we're on a path of truth.
It's because I had done it from a point of view of not being truthful of what I was exactly doing. So, no, it blew up in my face.
Yes.
It blew up in our face.
Yes.
You can continue on.
Whew, okay. So, after I found out all this, I finally said to Rob that now I see two things that need to be done. One, we need to stop all wedding plans. To which he immediately reacted with a strong, no!
I wasn't trying to blow up wedding plans. I was trying to make it so that wedding plans would be easier and just singular for us. No distractions.
And I'm thinking...
Going backwards in my accomplishments.
And I'm thinking, I got a lying, cheating bastard on my hand. Do you really think I'm moving forward with you? No, dude. Whew, okay, so I explained if he's going to be lying to me straight to my face, we have some serious issues, and I wasn't able to continue down the path of marriage. I said the second thing was we needed to go see a counselor. He cried a bit, and I did not. I even told him I must be in shock because I'm so calm. He finally got ready for work and tried to hug and kiss me, but I turned away. I was so disgusted and felt so betrayed that I couldn't stand to look at him, let alone have him touch me. I even wrote, gross. I'm sorry.
Well, that was the moment. It was a horrible moment.
God, it was. I had to pull myself together to go to work. All day, I felt like I had been punched in the stomach really hard and couldn't breathe. It was horrible. Somehow I made it through work and got home, which was hard because my boss, he knows me, I know him, and he was wondering what the heck's going on, and rough time.
I'm sitting here shaking myself.
I know.
I could feel me just quaking. This
is hard to tell.
My world was blowing apart.
Yeah, we actually debated not sharing this, but you know what? We've committed this far to sharing our journey. It's like, you might as well know all of it. So here's all of it. So then I wrote, Rob came home, and a part of me was wishing I had done what I wanted, which was to go to a hotel for the night and let him wonder where I was. I'm really proud that I even wrote in my journal, ego, in big bold letters. In other words, I was very aware that was the wrong thing to do, and I'm glad I didn't. So then I wrote, glad I'm more mature and did the right thing. So he came home, said hi, and I said hi and told him where I was at, that I was angrier than I'd felt in a very long time. He asked if I wanted to go for a walk, and I said it might be best because I could better keep my anger under control. In other words, being out in public. I told him I was trying to remain mature and in control. So we walked and I expressed how angry I was at being lied to. I also told him that I didn't want to hear any talk of marriage because I couldn't even handle looking at him, let alone thinking of marrying him. We got home after a long walk through the neighborhood with me talking, swearing, and yelling at times, all the while him remaining calm.
Well, that was actually a very difficult walk. That was the most difficult walk and talk that I've ever had with anybody. We called this video Your Honor. And that is because during that walk, Angie was asking all sorts of questions, wanting to know clarity on many, many things. And I really felt like I was in a courtroom on the stand being grilled, absolutely grilled. Yes, Your Honor. No, Your Honor. This is what happened, Your Honor. This didn't happen, Your Honor. That's not quite right, Your Honor. It was just like worse than the movies. I was getting pummeled. And the worst part is I didn't have any video or anything much for evidence to substantiate what I was saying. I just had to go with what I knew. It was very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Including the, why would you do that? Well, at the time it was, why wouldn't I do that? But right now it didn't turn out very well. So why would I do it? Why would I do that? I agree. It sounds odd. Your turn.
And I'm glad that I know myself well enough and I'm able to look at my shadow side. So I wrote everything that he just talked about in terms of me questioning him on everything, interrogating him. I have it in here.
Interrogation.
It was total interrogation.
I'm glad there was no waterboard handy.
So I wrote, we sat on the couch and talked more. Of course, not together. He was on one side of the couch and I was on the other side. I'm like, I'm not coming anywhere near you. I said, in all, we talked from 6 p.m. until 10:30. When at home, I grilled him on his night with his karmic. What time he picked her up. Where he picked her up. Did they hug? Did they kiss? Did they hold hands?
What road did we drive on?
I did. Where they went for dinner. Of course, I had already seen the receipt, but I wanted to know. I wanted to know from his words. What they ate. Did they hold hands at the restaurant? I wanted to know every single detail because I knew he wouldn't be able to lie if recounting everything in minute detail. So I'm like, tell me every ounce of truth.
Your Honor.
Yes. 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 I'm like, it's time for some truth and I want all of it. Okay, so then we calmly talked about the fact that I was not able to sleep in the same bed with him that night. That I was just so raw and needed time and space to process. He offered to give me our bed, but I said I didn't want to sleep in our space. Because, of course, being an energy feeler, I'm like, I don't want to be there. He said he'd like to then because he wanted to hold the energy of us while I couldn't. That's pretty sweet. I didn't even believe there was an us anymore because I still believed that he had cheated on me with Karmic One as per past behaviors. He wanted to hug goodnight, but I couldn't even stand to have him touch me. I was much calmer and able to look at him without complete disgust and hate, but still having him close to me was just too much. So I slept on the couch, and he slept in our room. I was awake in the middle of the night again, but did get a little bit of sleep. Friday morning, this is now February 17th of 2016, I heard him get up and leave for work, but I didn't say anything or get up with him. Now, I almost always get up with him and give him a hug and a kiss goodbye, and that morning I'm like, yeah, no, bye, dude. Don't let the door slam you on the way out. Okay. When he left, I laid there, planning my next steps, which was to spend the long weekend preparing the house to sell, get it listed, and move, not tell him where I lived, change my number so he had no future contact, and move on with my life. I even walked through the house and sort of said goodbye to it, thinking how much I'd missed the mountain view. So, that's how serious I was. I couldn't get it through my head that he had just done what he said he had done, and for the reasons he said, I genuinely believe he was having an affair, and I'm like, I don't want anything to do with this. Then later that morning on Facebook, I found a twin flame message that related to our situation so perfectly. It was all about letting go of lies and deceit and releasing old loves to make room for new with a clean slate. Wow! Again, I know you guys understand this, right? Because when you live this path, you get these crazy synchronicities and these things that come to you just when you need them. And you're like, how on earth does this happen? And you can't tell normal people because they'd be like, you're just making that up. Like, you're just seeing into that more than there is. But you know, you've been there. I emailed it to Rob, and he replied at how amazing it was and how perfectly it applied. When I got home from work, I finished listening to one of the videos of Marla's, which is really awesome. I'm so thrilled to have Marla's name in my journal. So for those of you that might not know, this is Marla Kelly of Twinstrology. She is actually going to be one of the facilitators at our workshop coming up next month in October. So I said I finished listening to Marla's video that she put out just this past week. And then I put in brackets Twinstrology. I even put, the name of her company in there. Everything in it was perfectly aligned with our stuff and the other messages that we were getting. Marla's video talked about now being the time of new beginnings, deception, and masks are cracking, truth coming out. And I wrote in brackets, yup, truth came out. That our relationship is sacred and it is an experience to push past the pain where we are out of alignment with ourself to heal the wounds. That it's a purification process and a removal of the ego. That the obstacles are lessons on the path to love and we need to have more trust and faith. Was not exactly what I needed. It was more trust and faith. So I just took a bunch of notes from her video and I literally would play the video, write down what she was saying, then have to pause so I could write it all down, play it again. I mean, it took me probably double the time of what the video was because I just took notes on everything she was saying because it was just hitting home, like it was just speaking to my soul loud and clear. In fact, I even wrote that. I said, wow, everything I needed to hear. Oh, okay, now where are we from here? The message I emailed Rob that same day was all about clearing inner blocks to union and releasing old energies, ties, and past loves. So which is exactly what you were trying to do.
That's what I was trying to do.
In an innocent way.
Oh.
Oops, I just broke our pencil.
We had a pencil. Just got whacked by the heel of her boot, and it's now a 2-piece pencil.
My leg's going numb. I have to move.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So, I said, so I'm reading all these messages that are saying the same things, and I'm feeling just totally amazed. Like we are being guided, and someone is telling us we're on the right path and going in the right direction, doing the right things. I felt like someone had been watching our specific life and had given us very specific message to help us keep going. It was incredible. So when Rob came home, I told him where I was and how I had shifted from the morning, from where I was and that everything was completely over. So I told him in the morning I had literally planned to sell the house, move, we're done, over, goodbye. And now all of a sudden, just from watching Marla's video and reading some other stuff, I had totally shifted in my understanding of what was going on and what the lesson was in it. So I said I shared all the messages and spiritual stuff with him, and he was just as blown away with it as I was. So we talked and healed more. Okay, this is where it might get a little teary again, because this one makes me sad. Okay, so now this was Saturday. So this was almost a week later from when the whole thing started with, we're out in the mountains and doing wedding stuff, and she's texting him while we're out there. And I said, Saturday when I got home, Rob met me at the door and asked if he could hug me. We hugged, and he cried and said he had been really missing us because we had not had any physical contact. I hadn't hugged him. I hadn't kissed him since I found out I wanted nothing to do with him, really. So we hugged and cried and he had said he really missed us. Said that he was sad he hadn't even said a proper goodbye when I left earlier in the day, and sad that we were so distant. He said he came out to the couch to read his book after I left, and how he had compassion for how hard it is to sit on the couch and think and feel like I'd been doing for the past few days. He said he cried a lot while I was gone. He cried even more as he was telling me all of this, And he cried, asking Spirit why everything had to blow up when all he was trying to do was the right thing by getting his karmic out of his life and doing it while I wasn't around so as to spare me and not trigger me.
Yeah, it was.
We were just trying.
I was trying to be kind to everybody.
Yeah.
I've said that already this video, but I didn't want to put Ange through anything else. I knew it was a sensitivity, and I also felt like I had to face this alone because Karmic One is not Angie's responsibility. It's mine. Karmic One had been in my life for a lot of years. And for a lot of years, and in theory, way too many years, because I had allowed it. So I wanted to go fix that. I needed to. And the timing was right.
Yeah.
I guess the method didn't turn out to be very right.
Which is what I wrote in my journal. I said we talked of that, and I explained that while he was trying to do the right thing, you can't end something in the same energy it was created. You can't end a life of lies, cheating, and deception with more lies, cheating, and deception. So I said it was amazing to see Rob so broken, so vulnerable, and so upset. I just held his hand and sent him love and let him cry and get it all out. It was really beautiful to watch in a sense. Just like one of the channelings had said, he was broken open. So that night, after tears and love and healing, and him putting my ring back on that I had taken off Wednesday morning, that's how serious I was. I was done. I was so done. With the agreement that we were one and that we do everything together and share things rather than walking alone, i.e. him trying to do the karmic thing alone. We agreed to live life together as twin flames.
I would like to just interject into this very serious conversation.
Please do. I'm just shaking from all of this.
I'd like to interject just a little bit of humor.
Okay.
Not good humor. When I broke up with my karmic 2, one of the first things that I heard was her running upstairs, and then I heard the flushing of a toilet, and I never saw that ring again. I have a feeling that the flush was flushing of the ring. Now, all of a sudden, Angie's ring was missing right away after everything had blown up. And I was just totally reliving the thought that that ring was gone too.
Oh.
The destroyer of rings. Oh. Yes, I was scared that it was I was scared it was gone.
Oh, you poor thing.
I don't know. I don't know if it's poor thing. I was sure I was going through it, but I sure hadn't prevented that pain from needing to be thought about. But still, I was scared.
That's rough. So I wrote, I'm still amazed to have info show up just at the time we needed it that fits so perfectly with where we're at. I feel like we are truly guided by unseen forces that are helping to carry us forward on our journey. Truly miraculous. And that's not just us, of course. That's all of us, right? Like, I know so many of you have messaged us and said, you know, like, just when I want to give up and I want my twin flame completely out of my life, something happens. I watch a video or I read a message and it shifts me. Yes, it's totally part of the path. We can think, that's it, I'm done, I'm moving on, I'm never communicating with this person again.
Then a message just drifts our way.
Yep. And touches us and goes, okay, now I get it. So I wrote, we are both healing, growing in amazing and incredible ways. It's magical and miraculous, and I have such hope for us both. And our journey is TFs. We are really becoming aware of our connection as twin flames and of the fact that we are one and we are mirrors for each other. That we are now triggering the last of each other's shadow selves to come out, to be seen and healed. Because God knows I hadn't healed. That 14th video, Karmic Calamity, if you may have seen that one, Rob told me about, you know, the whole thing with him and this other woman and me. And only a couple hours later, I called him and said, I forgive you and it's all fine and it's all dandy. Not that I was wrong to say I forgive you, but I hadn't grieved. I hadn't coped. I hadn't, like, processed it.
Hadn't worked it through from beginning to end.
I just shoved it under the carpet and thought, it's all in the past. Let it be. Guess what? 18 years later, it wasn't in the past.
Wasn't in the past. Came right back.
Yep. So that's what we do as twin flames, right? We trigger everything that's got to come up. Not because our twin flame is mean. It's just part of holding up that mirror, because we've got to clear it all so we can be literally just a pure vessel of love and light. You want to say?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I agree.
So I said, this is not about pointing fingers at the other and saying they need to deal with this or that issue. It's about seeing the stuff in ourselves that's reflected from the other and knowing our focus is to be on healing our own stuff. All Rob's actions with his karmic and his lying, all that did was trigger me to focus on my own feelings and fears of being cheated on and have them come up and be healed once and for all. So I said, we are healing and we're doing amazing at it, and I'm so proud of both of us.
And of course, my lesson is no matter how painful or tough something is, we need to work together on stuff. We can't really have these individual battles because we are so close and so connected. We're going to feel those.
Totally.
Battles.
You're one entry. One
entity.
Energy. Yeah.
Oh, I say entity. You say energy.
Energy, whatever. So you feel each other, right? Like even before I found the receipt, I could feel something was wrong. I could feel the energy of like, something's going to happen. Something's not right. And it's just encouragement to trust those feelings, whatever they are. And not necessarily feelings of like something's wrong, but trust the feelings of something's right too. Because we are connected. So we are able to feel our twin flames energy and vice versa. So I also wanted to just add, this isn't of course written in my journal, but we did go to counseling. We still did work with a counselor.
And that was actually quite interesting. I really enjoyed that.
So excellent.
We hit a pretty good counselor on this one, pointed us in a couple of very good directions.
Yes. He's like mainstream. He's actually Christian, which fine, I don't have a problem with that. But, he's much more religious than spiritual. And we told him about the twin flame stuff, and he was totally good with it. He was supportive and kind and excellent guy.
Yeah, I think he was actually very open to alternative styles of spirituality.
Yeah.
We didn't seem to shake him at all. He didn't seem to be taken aback. So it was very nice to talk to someone who was open to our experiences and our points of view.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very good. We saw him for a couple months, I think. So what I found also interesting is I was just on Facebook again yesterday, and somebody was talking about that today is a 999 day. We're recording this video like we normally do on a Sunday. So it is September 9th of 2018 that we're doing this video. So September is the ninth day. And some people say the 2018 is a 9 year because of the 1 and 8 makes the 9. I don't know. Some people resonate with that. Some may not.
Oh, and can I throw in just one more thing? And I hope it doesn't blow her up on camera.
Uh-oh.
September 9th is Karmic One's birthday.
Oh my Lord. Are you kidding me?
I am not kidding. Today is her birthday.
Get out.
She's a 9-9.
That is freaking crazy.
I
did not know this. Well, I'm blown up, but in an awe way. Get out.
It is.
Wow, holy crap. Okay, I'm sorry. I am blown up, but in a cool way. I was going to say it's fascinating when I was reading this on Facebook. I didn't even know today was the 9th. I hadn't even paid attention to the date. And when I read that, I was like, that's so cool that we're doing this video on a 999 day, because 9 is all about completion. It's all about you have ended a cycle and you're about to start a new cycle. So first of all, I was thinking, this is fascinating that we're talking about this woman all these years later, 20 years.
Yeah.
Because it was 1998 that we had the whole...
2018 now.
2018. And now to find out it's her birthday as well? Holy crap, that's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Once again, you cannot make this stuff up. Wow, I'm sorry. I'm totally in shock. That was good to wait until the video.
I've been holding this in for a couple of days. I really have.
So now that I'm totally in shock, I want to read to you a quote that I actually texted Rob a couple days after all this happened, but I didn't want to go back to text, so I just wrote it out on a sticky. The quote was, "If you focus on the hurt, you continue to suffer. If you focus on the lesson, you will continue to grow."
That is beautiful.
I really like that. Yeah. So that's maybe just a piece of advice is, instead of focusing on the hurt like I was, focus on the lesson. Ask yourself, why have I attracted this? Why is this coming back up in my life? Because once again, we're never victim. We are always creator to all of it.
I often ask myself, okay, whatever it was, it didn't go too smooth. What have I learned? What have I learned? I always ask that. And even if it was, I don't know specifically what I've learned, but there's a little bit in here that I could do differently. I guess I still call that a lesson.
Wow.
So.
Whew. Okay, so
now she's going to be in shock for the next hour.
Next day. That is crazy. So we've completed the karmic lesson with Karmic One.
Karmic One.
On her birthday.
On her birthday.
Happy birthday, beautiful soul. Thank you for all the lessons she taught me.
And me.
They were hard, but I'm grateful. But I don't want to do that again.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Lesson's done.
Okay, so before I blow up my mind completely and can't even think, I just wanted to mention, of course, the workshop. If you haven't heard, we are doing a Twin Flame / Divine Partner workshop on October 5th, 6th, and 7th. That's only a month away, not even now.
Yes, it is less than a month now.
It's coming up quick. So that will be in Banff, Alberta, Canada. Banff, if you don't know, is spelled, it's a weird kind of spelling. It's B-A-N-F-F. I know some people have called it Bath because it sounds like Bath in a video. It's a weird name.
People have also gone Banff, which is another common name, B-A-N-I-F-F.
Yes.
So B-A-N-F-F.
Yes. That's in Alberta, Canada. It's right here in our beautiful Rocky Mountains. So the whole point of this workshop is to serve you, help you on your path, give guidance, support with other people. We will have as facilitators with us Dio Veselinoff, which I know a lot of you know, Debbie Dubois from True Sacred Union. One of the stories I want to share with her really quick is she was at the Chicago workshop that we went to, which we're going to talk about in our next video, how impactful that was for us. When we were there, one of the exercises she did with one of the attendees was, I hope I say this right, I get it wrong almost all the time, Ho'opono. You know what I mean if I didn't say it right. Hopefully you do. And it was beautiful to see the transformation in this lady at the workshop. She came in the very next day in tears and she said, my heart is opened. Like, that exercise shifted me so much. So what I love about workshops is it does shift you. It transforms all of us. We were in Union when we went to both workshops.
Yeah, we went to Chicago and Boston.
But yet, it didn't matter that we were in Union. It's not like you get to Union and everything's perfect and wonderful, as you've known from our story.
And you know everything. Yeah, no. It doesn't quite work that way.
It impacted you. Huge.
Oh, yes.
Huge.
So, yeah, we've also got Marla.
Marla Kelly, who, of course, was just in our story, from Twinstrology. She does astrology. She's very intuitive. She does readings, all sorts of amazing things. She's just a gift to have. And Kelly McKinstry.
We got two Kellys in there. Unicorn Kelly.
Yes, we met her in Chicago as well and absolutely fell in love with Unicorn Kelly. We'll let her tell at the workshop why we call her Unicorn Kelly. But she also has a lot of gifts. She's a Reiki master. She's a pranic healer. She's a coach. Her business, by the way, is Encompass Yourself. So just so you can check out everybody if you're not familiar with them. Yeah, she offers a ton of skills and abilities. So we've got a super awesome team to help support you on your journey. Yeah,
we couldn't do this all on our own. We
want to.
We need all sorts of different help, different points of view. Very, very experienced people.
Yes.
We're just getting started into the realm of coaching and helping, and these people have been at it a long time, really, really appreciate that they're coming to spend the time with us and help us out.
Yeah. And then also on the Monday, which is a holiday Monday, both in Canada and the US, we are doing the tour of the Rockies. So we're going to hire a bus that's going to take us in all sorts of beautiful areas like Johnson's Canyon, Lake Louise, Moraine Lake, Emerald Lake.
Takaka Falls.
Yes. So we figure, you know what? If you're in town, you might as well see the beauty.
So we'll have one day of touring around.
Yeah.
And that'll be a ton of fun too. So really looking forward to all of that.
Yes. So more information will be below. There'll be links for you to check things out. If you have any questions, feel free to message us, email us, however you want to reach us. We will be glad to answer questions. Space is booking up. We are lucky enough that we have a beautiful room. But we're trying to keep it somewhat small too, because we want to be intimate, because this isn't just facilitators stand up and talk at you. This is very interactive. We sit in a circle and we all talk, we all share, we ask questions, everybody can answer. It's very interactive. So we want to keep it intimate and small.
We want to keep it small enough that you can definitely see the person on the other side of the circle.
Yes, exactly.
You don't
be like, hi, way over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we will leave it at that. Remember, as always, to connect with your twin, go within, because you are one, you are connected, you can feel each other. Yes.
Okay.
All right, we love you guys.
Have a good week.
Yes, bye.
Bye.